Africa is now or never. You ever win it or lose it forever. Africa is now or never. We rather win it and keep it for good. Nigeria is now or never. You ever love it or lose it forever. Nigeria is now or never. We rather love it and keep it for good. Freedom is now or never. We either win it or lose it forever. Freedom is now or never. We rather win it and keep it for good. Let me hear it. Zigazi, Jai Kama, Zigazi, Kanjabana, Jai Kama, Zigazi, Jamabana, Jai Kama, Kanjabana, Jai Kama. Jai Kama, Africa is now under us. You either win it or lose it forever. Africa is now under us. We rather win it and keep it for good. Nigeria is now or never. You either love it or leave it forever. Nigeria is now or never. We rather love it and keep it for good. Freedom is now or never. We either win it or lose it forever. Freedom is now or never. We rather win it and keep it for good. And Jessica, Adamawana, Najai, Dam. And Jessica, and Jewana, Najai, Dam. Ziga, Jai, Dam. Ziga, Jai, Dam.
Wow. 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 Yes. Ziga Hosi means send them a message. Tell them that our God is great. Yes. Nigeria is now or never. We got to win it and keep it forever. I agree with the musician, and I'm gonna bring up some of our speakers. Peter, can you mute so I can bring you to the backstage, please? Newt, I don't know. Oh, his network is not good. Okay, I have brought you to the backstage. If your network is not good, please join the conference call. So we made a kind of contingency plan for today because it's a very important day. Yes, it's a very important day, and we don't want to miss a thing. So we have on the stage some of our speakers, and also behind in that we have a conference call. We have some speakers will be calling in as well. Yeah. So without further ado, I want to say good evening, family. Good evening, IOM family. Good evening, our speakers. We are here for Man versus Woman Part 2. Yes. And with me tonight, yes, by the way, I'm your host, Nurse Angel. And with me tonight, we have Arinze at your extreme. It depends, is it right or left? Arinze Uguagu, he is a civil servant with the judiciary. We already introduced you before. We also have Peter Eboma. Peter is in the, I think he's now at the backstage. I'm bringing him in. No, network is not good. Peter, just remain at the conference call, please. So Peter Eboma is also a civil servant and a building engineer. We have Madam Hope Okoye, the SA to the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs. She's into the gender issue, violence and abuse of all genders. And our IOM Professor Temitope. Yes, these are our tonight's speakers. And we want to say that we are ready and hungry to talk about man versus woman part 2. Depending on how it goes, we may we may need to have a part 3. So I want to say that we want to wish the fathers a very happy Father's Day. Yes, it's the Father's Day today, and it's also the African Child's Day, the day for the African child. So we are wishing both the fathers and African children a happy day celebration to you all. Yes. Now, before we start fully, I want to say that so far on this talk show in the part 1, we the family members agreed that men and women are not equal. We did not have any agreement on who is the superior, if there is anything called superior gender. We agreed, at least, that men and women are never equal because they have their distinctive specification or builds. And we also agreed that men are neither equal as well because we have different, body builds, different makeup, including intelligence and what have you. We also agreed that women are not equal as well. Wow! So what's the tussle? If there is no equality in the biological, physical, psychological, social, and what have you, what is the struggle? That is what we want to dive into today. Peter, I can see you are once again at the backstage. I'll bring you in, but please, if you have network issue, quickly go to the conference call. I left the conference call open so that nobody will say they did not hear or network is bad. I will go and see what the family members are saying. But before I go, I want to greet you guys once again and say Happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. Esther is saying everyone, she's inviting the whole world to come and watch the program. Opeyemi is greeting fathers. She said Happy Father's Day. Khadija says share on all your social media handle. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah, I'm going to share now. I'm going to share now on all the social media handle. Very important. And thank you, Khadija. That is very important. Yes. I have to add or replace. Uh, Sorry, I had one ongoing. I just deleted it to add this one. Fantastic. Yes, I have shared. So please, everyone, share quickly on all your social media handle. Quickly. Ilaus is our new admin. She said, Happy Father's Day. Fresh Sonny said, if you have not shared, you're wrong. Fresh Sonny, you're the best. I will say, if you have not shared, please do share. Please do share. Share on your social media handle. And remember, we have our backstage. If you're having difficulty with network, please do go to the backstage. Yes, so we'll quickly do some little activity. And Peter, please mute. Please mute. You are not muted, Peter. Please mute because we don't want interference. So we want to quickly do a quick activity if we can. Quick activity. Thank you, Arinze, for muting. Yeah, quick activity. So we want to ask family members. Family members, you know we love you. We don't do anything without your approval or your input. Um, okay. I hope you can hear. I can hear a sound. Peter, please mute or I take you out. Yeah, Madam Hope, I think you can hear me now. Madam Hope, I think you can hear me now. So quickly, family members, a quick activity for you. Um, Fam, please can you tell us what is respect? Please, in your own word. You don't need to get it perfectly right. Just in your own word, family members. What is respect? I'll be reading your comments. I want you to be typing quickly because this will be quick. This will be quick. What's the meaning of respect? I see my sweetest of all heart, Chinazam. Riri is giving me kisses. Thank you. So, what is respect? Quick activities coming through. Absolutely, admin Chijoke, both pioneer and risk current incoming. So, what is respect? Come, guys, you can't afford to miss tonight's topic. I agree. So, can you define respect for me? Sunday Dominic, we missed you. It's been a long time. Respect means to show regard. Boof. I love that. I love your definition of respect because in it you have to everyone. Thank you, Sunday. You are just the best. Respect means to show regard to everyone. Precious said, respect means knowing your boundaries and valuing other boundaries. These people are the best. Thank you. I think we finished the talk show. Nangot said, respect has to do with obeying or showing regard for someone. Fantastic. She said someone, not everyone. I don't know. Dodgy said, respect is giving regard to someone. Okay, thank you very much. Respect is a virtue shown towards other people to honor them. Thank you very much. And you guys are the best. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. So quickly, secondly, I want you to tell me, I've heard the definition of respect. Remember, is a man's word. Or so it's being said. We don't know if it's true, but we'll find out tonight. Now, does a woman need to be respected? Fam, the next question now is, does a woman need to be respected? Khadija said, oh yes. Ezine said, absolutely yes. Zinti said, respect is giving honor to people. Fred Somi said, yes, of course. Oluwafemi is still my family. This is the family member in IOM. They represent IOM farm. So respect is giving honor, yes. So does a woman need to be respected? Bukola Sunday said, oh yes. Rod said, yes, of course. Please keep it coming. Keep it coming. Thank you guys for the response. So I didn't see anybody that said no. Now, can you quickly define dominance for me? Quickly define dominance for me. Yes, can you quickly define dominance for me? Um, Riri said 100% regarding whether a woman is supposed to be respected. Right now, I want you all to please define dominance. What do you think? Don't define it with long gist, please. Just give us, what do you understand by the term dominance? What is to dominate or dominance? Okay. Dominance, Sunday is giving it to us. Dominance means to take control. Boom, boom, boof. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Dominant is to take over things entirely. Wow, wow, wow. Chijoke said control. Admin Chijoke, thank you very much. And Rita Ziti said dominance is to take over things entirely. Chinonso said dominance means trying to force a person into submission. Absolutely. It has to do with force, control. Rochi said it means dominating in all ramification. So, what is the meaning of dominating? I need you to tell me the meaning of dominance, and you're telling me it means dominating. I want to know what is dominance, dominating, or to dominate. And Chinazan said dominance refers to the power and influence. I know where you're coming from in terms of where you got this. One individual or group has over others. The power and the influence, control, to dominate, full control, according to faith. Thank you very much. So quickly, we will go into the next. Can you guys are the best. I love you. Now, I want you to tell us what is insecurity. I didn't say security. I said, what's the meaning of insecurity? Peter, if you are at the backstage, mute before you come up because I don't want your interference. Mute so I can bring you up. So finally, what is the meaning of insecurity? What does insecurity mean? Power to give up. Like, I think you're still talking about dominant. Not Jane Ike. I love you, Jane Ike. You're still burning our candle. Yes. So Jane Ike said not being safe. Absolutely. I agree. You're still defining dominance. Having power and influence, that's dominance. Eze, how are you? I love you, Eze. And to charge, okay, that's dominance. Abraham said, insecurity is not being secured. I love that. If you're not secured, you're insecure. Richie said it's infidelity. Oh my God. I didn't know that insecurity meant infidelity. I didn't know that. So Chijoke said fear. I agree. That is true. Isn't it my beautiful queen said is unsafe? Fear. Bukola Sunday said not being safe. Absolutely. So quickly, we have two more left. What do you understand by human rights? You'll be wondering why all these nonsense questions. They will have meaning sometime. Don't worry. And I want you to remember the definitions the things we've been defining so far. And speakers, I also urge you to be listening in. So, what is human right? What is human right? Insecurity, we are still talking. Okay, rights we have as an individual. I love that, isn't it? Human right is individual right. It's not about woman right, man right, boy. It's human right is individual right. Individual right for what? Individual right for what? I see my sweetheart Tochukwu is inviting her friends to come. Natural right. Oh, yes. Natural right for what? Natural right for what? I need to know human right. Abraham said, human right means what you possess as an individual. What is that? What is that? Insecurity. I think you're still and my family members from YouTube. I greet you guys. Thank you for watching from YouTube. So we are still defining dominance. Please, I want us to define human rights. So Sunday Dominic said that human rights are ineligible privileges we enjoy as citizens of a country. Okay. Jane said human right is power that controls someone. Is power that controls someone. Okay, for fear, I say okay. Precious say human right means to fund the fundamental privileges that every human being has been opportune to enjoy due to birth. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Chintalk, our admin, said human rights are fundamental rights and freedom inherent to human. Thank you. On that note, we go to the last on the list. So the last question here is choice. Choice. So we want to know from you, family, what is choice? I want you to define choice. What is the meaning of choice? Please bring it on. Keep it. You don't need to look at dictionary. If you think choice, what does that mean? Choice. What does that mean? So what is the meaning of choice? Juliet, my sweetheart, said choice is what you want. Period. Period. No long gist, no long thing, no short. Choice is what you want, what you have chosen. Fantastic. You're coming late. Why are you late? Um Nangok said choice is taking decision. Okay, yes, I agree. Chioma, my sweetheart, still carrying her baby. Hello to baby and hello to your husband. Yes, Chioma said your preference. Choice is preference. Ezine said decision. Choice is your decision. She said our. I don't know what you mean by our. Choice is individual. It's not like our. So if you want to say our, I don't know what you mean by our. Maybe our individual decision. Absolutely, yes. I agree. So who is next? Adrian Chintok, thank you for coming in and bringing it on. Said choice means one's preference. Absolutely, yes. Patient, our epitome of IOM family, with the family or with their IOM t-shirts, said choice is your decision on something. Absolutely. Bam, boom. On that note, I want to say thank you, family. We will start the talk show right away. I don't even know how to start. I don't even know where to start. I'm happy that the family members have spoken. Right now, we have Dr. Temitope on the screen, but we have our speakers also on a conference call. I put them all together so that they will be listening in, and also so that they will also be they will be able to speak when we call them. On that note, I want to say I will start with you. Arinze, Arinze, last time you were struggling to speak and you felt you didn't really say what you wanted. I will say that we have really talked about generic issues regarding men and women, leadership, how they can be head of here, not head of there, embargo being placed here, removed from there. Let's break it down for discussion purposes. Arinze, you've had the little questions thrown to family members. It was made done on for a specific purpose. I want to ask you right now, do you believe that a woman, Arinze, remember to unmute when you're speaking. Do you believe, from the last question you said you didn't answer completely, that a woman should be allowed to head any area she finds herself, or rather, do you believe that a woman has freedom of choice or human rights to be allowed the opportunity to struggle or to stand a chance to head whatever department, denomination, or household she finds herself, be it the country head, be it the society head in religion, and also in the little family unit. Arinze.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I believe I'm doing well. I hope everybody is hearing me.
Arinze, there's the kind
Yeah,
of
so
sound.
first of all, let me wish every family member
Arinze.
today a happy Father's Day.
Okay.
It's a joyful day today. So let me go straight to the question.
Remember,
I'll
you
still
have
maintain
2
my
minutes. We
stand
agreed for
on
2
what I
minutes for
said last week
everyone.
because I do not understand why there should be a fight over all of this. I first of all stated and explained that every institution has its own peculiar way of climbing leadership, except for the family. The family is designed to be led by the man. That is the specification of the institution of marriage. And I equally said that a man can relinquish his right to lead a family or lead his family when he maybe cannot fulfill certain requirements designated for a leader. I believe women should, there shouldn't even be a talk about this. I come from Anambra State, and at some point, out of the 3 senatorial seats in the state, 2 women were senators against a man. So women are not even being taught by any means or being shortchanged by any means in anywhere to climb the leadership ladder. I have given so many instances in various institutions. I have even given instances in the institution where I work that even there are judges that are female, magistrates that are female. My direct boss is a female. Women are not taught. I gave an instance in politics where I said that politics is who gets what, when, and how. You have to play politics if you want to be in politics. You have to play politics or you will be played. Nobody gives you a political position, most especially when it is an elective position. Nobody gives it to you on a platter of gold. You have to come out and campaign for it. You have to create a platform where people who believe in your cause will join, because politics is a game of numbers. So if you believe that women should come out and lead the country, then you have to create a platform and lead that cause and win it. So you don't sit in and say, women should be president. Then who are we going to give the president? Are we going to package the presidency through DHL and send it to somebody? If you want to be president of the country, you come on in, print your posters, join a political party, play the interpolitical party politics, win, and get over there. There are women who have done it in other countries. But I get over here, People want it to be handed over to them on a platter because they said women are being shortchanged. That's a lie. I don't believe that. If you want to take up political position, come over. Then I talked about the church. There are churches that have female pastors. These are their own liturgy. This is what they believe in. There are other churches that don't believe in that. So if you are a woman and you are in a church where they say women cannot be priests, like in my own church, women cannot be priests. Leave that church. Go to the ones where they said women can be pastors and lead. You talked about choice. I had people define choices here. So it's a matter of choice. You don't sit in and you get handed over anything. So I believe that women should lead institutions except marriage, except in the family. The man is the head of the family.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes. Please, let's cut our answers. Totu, thank you for muting Arinze because your network is really making a lot of noise and so that the family members can hear. So please, anyone that speaks should mute quickly so we can hear ourselves. Arinze, I will still come back to you straight away. I heard certain things you said and I'm smiling. I'm smiling because I hear it sounds contradicting. And I want to say that tonight, I want family members to know that the questions will be tough and the question will be hard and mean, but it's not personal. We love one another, you know that. It's going to be tough, it's going to be mean. And I don't want you to, Nos Angel is this and that, that's fine, but it's because we really, really need to understand what's happening. When you spoke, Arinze, you spoke beautifully well. Well, I heard a lot of inconsistency, a lot of contradictions in your thoughts. And you also talked about choice in terms of religion and the liturgy. And you picked choice, but you omitted human rights, Arinze. You omitted human rights and the freedom of people to be allowed certain things. And you said every institution have their peculiar ways of doing things, Arinze. You said family is designed to be led by the man. And you also said that unless the man relinquishes his rights, you said also that there are certain requirements designated for a leader. I was waiting to hear that because if family are designed to be led by man, I asked the last time, who designed it so? I want to know with a fact. Then you said relinquish rights, meaning they can relinquish the right, and a woman from what you're not saying in the family can take over the position. If a woman can take over a leadership structure kept for man, when the man relinquishes it for one reason or the other, why then is a woman not allowed in the first place to take a position unless it's been relinquished? I'm wondering what's happening. Then you said there are requirements designated for leadership. I want to hear that requirement, Arinze. Please, can you tell us who made the requirements and what are the requirements? Arinze.
Okay, thank you so very much. First of all, if you listen very well, I said every institution has
correct.
Yes. So just like the marriage institution, it is stipulated, established that the man will lead the family.
I heard you. Who established it?
I mean, there has always been men and women over time. So it should be a collective agreement.
Okay.
Because over time, women have never for once, even till today, if you go out there and do your survey, you will find out that 85% of married women will not even agree to lead the family. 85%. I am very sure of it if you go out there and do your survey. Because they know from the onset, before going into marriage, that the man is supposed to be the leader of the
So when
family.
you say they know, it's because of the same law you said it is let me quote you. I don't want to misquote, so I have my pen and paper. Can you mute, please? Can you mute? Can you mute? Thank you. So you said that is designed to be led by a man. And you said, unless he relinquishes, meaning that design can be destroyed or disrupted by relinquishing, or maybe you also, by relinquishing rights, according to what you said, then a woman can lead. Meaning, that means there are families that a woman even leads. Fantastic. You said every institution have their peculiar law is designed somehow. Remember, a lot of institutions can do laws that are so barbaric. There have been a lot of institutions that have made a lot of barbaric laws that are against human rights, especially, of course, that of the woman. Why? Because the decision makers are definitely always men. Generally speaking, if you say historic, you will go to history and see who made those laws that we are being passed from generation to generation to generation. So when you say every institution have laws that could be barbaric, you didn't say that, but I'm saying that because if you say it's designed, you forget that there are rights whereby some institution, for instance, if you allow me, I want to say to you, for example, I'm in UK. I know we have different traditions and custom and belief, religion, and what have you. In UK, which is supposed to be a wonderful country, there used to be a time, like every majority of the countries all over the world, before the fight for human rights. And in UK previously, they just allowed women. You know, you're talking about the institution of voting in politics, that no one is stopping them. Do you know, Arinze, that this institution of politics you're talking about, there was a time here in UK, you can never ever vote as a woman. I'm not talking about lead, I'm talking about vote as a woman until 1928, when they fought religiously, and the ban or whatever embargo, just like you said, each institution had, which was what the British institution had regarding women not being allowed to vote. So women fought, and that right was removed based on your human right to vote. There was also a time that civil servants, I know you are a civil servant in UK, civil servants, male civil servants, we are paid more than female civil servants. It was in 1956 that women fought. And then in 1956, female civil servants were allowed to be paid equal pay with the male civil servant. Lastly, I want to say that in 1975 was the time that sex discrimination was made illegal against women in place of work. What I'm trying to challenge you, Arinze, is when you talk about institution requirement, even our religion, a lot of laws made by our religious bodies are barbaric in nature, to the extent that they are beginning to remove it little by little. So I want to ask you again, some of the laws that are barbaric or discriminatory to women that we are forced to accept, otherwise you'll be named and shamed and extradited, or they will push you away from the community, name and shame you, and make you a laughing stock. Do you not think that as other institutions are looking at human rights and removing it, that is not about that institution's right or laws, it's about taking into cognizance human rights, of allowing us to do like select leaders. Because in your discussion as well, or in your argument, you said that there are requirements designated for a leader. I want to hear that requirements, Arinze. What are the requirements designated for a leader? That is the one I would like to hear. Arinze.
Okay, thank you so very much. First of all, a leader should be intellectually capable.
Intellectually capable.
Yes, a leader should be
I'm listening.
physically. Yes, a leader should be physically capable as well. And to a very large extent, a leader should be financially capable also. A
Thank
leader
you.
should be seen, yes, a leader should be seen to lead from the front at all times, to be there, present, to face challenges that we think we need to be somebody.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You can mute now. Let's go to another. Thank you very much. I heard him and it sounded so sweet in my ears. I don't even have any argument over requirements of leadership. He said intellectual, physical, and when he came to finance, he said to a large extent should be financially capable, intellectually capable, physically, and to lead from the front. Thank you. And this leadership definition, I see a lot of women. When I say a lot of women, I mean women qualify because I was waiting to hear leadership being by either penis or vagina. Sorry to be vulgar, but I have to be. I wanted to hear him say, a leader, you must have a penis to lead. But he said, intellectually capable, physically, financially, to a large extent, and lead from the front. That is a beautiful definition of a leader, which I know that a lot of women also qualify. I will come over to Peter. Peter is a nationalist by nature. Peter, if you can unmute, I want to hear from you going by Arinze's definition of a leader rather than the strongest man that I said I can beat our president, our current president. I think I'm physically stronger than him and I can give him one blow, 7 apples. But we are going away from physical strength only. He added intellectual, financial to a large extent. Going by that definition, Peter, do you think that there are certain women that qualify to be a leader in that definition? Peter, unmute if you're speaking. Thank you.
Okay. Hello.
We can hear you loud and clear. Go on.
Now, I'm going to start the take with domination. First of all, domination never happens by accident. It is a privilege that comes to you by virtue of stating superiority. When somebody can outfight you, out you, automatically over. Now, it is not accidental that all those institutions fell under the control of men to modify, to define, and to implement. If I may ask you, do you imagine slavery that if the rising function that it could have been the other way around? Do you think this black could have ever implemented slavery upon the whites? I don't think you argue that it was not possible, as at when slavery really was meted out on Africa. So you see, when you are arguing about institutions and laws and definition, it is simply a case of dominance. He who dominates will determine, just like history, it is the victor that writes history. So domination by natural. Now, you're also talking about fighting, the fought in 1928 and all this, and you're forgetting the aspect of benevolence. You're forgetting the change in the hearts of men to give concession. You're not just fighting. Your fighting could have been beat down easily. But these men realize that, okay, let us give concessions. Now, about not by it was by benevolence that most of these grounds were given. I don't know if you are hearing me.
100%, yes.
In the cases of when I really was talking about certain relinquishing leadership, it's by the woman. It is by the man slacking on his requirements. Slacks, he will be vacuum. Vacuums are not allowed in a family setting. That is when the woman. You see, it was not the default way to be the leader. And I'll take you back to institutions. It was already designed by men because they were in dominant positions to make these definitions. And women considered, they were happy. Actually, they're actually happy to be the second, not the first, in most family settings, because it takes a whole lot of psychological pressure to lead a family, especially when the country that they reside in is not a progressive country, financially doing well and all that. It takes a lot of psychological challenges to lead the family. So it won't not to lead the family, it is to follow. Now, a woman can lead. We must also now be careful about avoiding generalization. Generalization is the only path to truth. You cannot speak on exceptions, statements to generalizations. Of course, there are one or two women that are physically stronger. There are one or two men that are physically weaker. But that is not how we are going to ever arrive at conclusiveness. When we continue to insist on the exceptions to the rules, we must generalize and conclude on our debate. The man, you understand me? So you cannot continue picking on, you give me 7 blow and there's no problem. But there are majority of, let me also take you to the instances where I can prove to you that by nature, the men are designed for certain life and the women are designed for certain life. I can take you now and tell you that most of what you are jostling for as women is for power positions, boardroom positions, white collar positions. Now, let's go to the heavy industry.
Sorry, Dr. Temitope, mute, please. Mute, thank you. Continue, please, quickly round up, because we want everybody to have opportunity to speak. Quickly round up, please. Continue quickly.
We should learn to generalize. Like, let me just this last instance of how men are better designed for certain aspects of life versus women. In the heavy industries, in the precision engineering, them. In certain aspects, you see mostly men dominating. Even in schools, you see the business admin, town planning, food and nutrition, women flood there. Nobody is pushing them, that is taking them there. So please let us work with what our actual nature.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm happy to hear you. You can mute for now, Peter. Why I asked, Peter, you're so smart. I love you. Peter talked about, he took over from the dominant nature. And I love what he said. He said, by nature, man is domineering over women. Correct. I agree. Then he asked an intelligent, brilliant question. He said, do I think that the black man can ever have a kind of overpowered the white man during the slavery? I said, yes, this guy is arguing for me, because absolutely, Peter, absolutely not. However, we are a sovereign country upon the fact that America is more powerful in terms of military and every might. However, we are a sovereign country, not because, as you said, that America could dominate us. It's because, like you said, they gave concession for that to happen. I absolutely agree with you, and you are absolutely making the point. For the woman, meaning it's not about domineering who can beat. If that is the case, then the strongest man should be the head in every area they find themselves, offices, any area, will look for who can dominate, who is more domineering. But I tell you the truth, Peter, if you, like you said, I'm quoting you, Peter, you said, blacks can never dominate white. However, white did dominate blacks. Yes, that was during those days when it was about survival of the fittest. You go to country, conquer them, lead them. Go to country, conquer them, lead them. Even African countries where we had warriors. My surname is Obiesie. Obiesie is and Onuko. They said he was a warrior. He will go. And he was feared during the days, his days, my grandfather was feared because he will say, I'm going out and I'll come back with a lot of heads. He goes out and he comes back with a basin full of heads of men, and they were fearful of him because he was able to fight, conquer men. So therefore, by the spirit of dominance, my grandfather should be the king of the village, but he was not, because of other certain things. So I agree with you that by nature man is domineering. No one is arguing that. But because of the leadership definition given by Peter, which you accepted, I think he said something about intellectual as well, physical in certain extent, financially to a large extent, if I'm to quote Peter, and what have you. So in area of dominance, the head of UK is not the most powerful at all. And so on and so forth. Then you said about generalization. I agree. Generally speaking, we can say a man can dominate a woman. But in particular cases, you can see where some certain women can dominate the man. That is why I agree with you again. We should not generalize because some husband and wife, if you see the woman, she's like a big woman, and this man will be small dudes, and some small dudes may like big women. And do you want to say when you measure them, and if the woman is more powerful, going by your definition of leadership, that means the woman automatically is the head of the family. But it is not so because again, like you said, why the laws? You accepted, Peter, that the laws were made by men during the old days. You said it's not a coincidence. It's because they were domineering then, yes. So why the law was made that man should dominate in the household or should be the leader, taking into consideration the general aspect of the build of men. What about those that qualify in terms of the husband and wife? The wife is more stronger, more capable, more intellectually capable, and what have you. Why is she not allowed to be the head of the house? I go to Madam Hope. Madam Hope, I know you are the only woman on the floor. Don't worry, we are asking very tough questions. I have not said my stand, don't worry. You will hear my stand in next episode. But right now, their definition of leadership and dominance also mean that certain women are definitely more qualified to dominate wherever they find themselves. However, they put an embargo, they put a restriction, a no, because they said certain institution needs to have their right, no matter whose right is infringed upon. Who cares? It has to be obeyed. You obey me or nothing. It's either yes or yes. So, Madam Hope, do you think that by the mere definition of the men about leadership, is a woman not entitled, or is she entitled to be the head or dominate, if I'm to use their term, in the household? Or should all women be subjected to the leadership of the man in the house? Thank you.
Thank you, and happy Father's Day to all our fathers and the fathers to be in the family. And also, I shout out to our African child. We celebrate you. From what we have been saying, I've been listening. I've heard a lot of things. They talk about benevolence, talk about domineering, talk about the qualities or the criteria or what is expected of a leader. And we've also looked at how we were created as human beings, the rights that we have. Some people where I heard all the definitions the family members are giving about, human rights, choices, this and that. I've listened to all these things, and my answer is this. If we look at who is a leader, And we now looked at from the mental aspect, from the psychological aspect, from the physical aspect, from the financial aspect. We found out that, and every other aspect they want to bring it in, you find out that these qualities, there are men who possesses it, and there are men that don't possess it. We also saw that there are women who possesses these qualities, and there are some women that don't possess it. But the summary of the whole thing, which they have told us, whether some women accepted to be led, whether the men, you find out they kept telling us that this decision has been taken by men from the very beginning. Is a history handed over from generation to generation. But we found that as time goes on, things are not the way they were. So when looking at the way things, a lot of things are changing. From the analysis and narrative Nurse Angel gave, we saw. But all these things, we found out, my brother told us that those men were just being benevolent. They decided to allow, let it be. But why should it be so? Why should you be doing us a favor? You feel that you are doing us a favor when all of us are created male and female with equal human rights. I'm happy Nurse Angel said it. When they were mentioning qualification of a leader, they didn't say the person must possess a penis. These are the physical, biological uniqueness of a man and woman. But those things did not come up as a qualification to be a leader. So I want to believe that if we remove this embargo, it must be a man, it must be a woman, no matter where the institution we are talking about, whether in the family institution, whether in the community as an institution, whether in the local government, the state, the nation, and any organization, you find out that it's because we have our own, the men felt threatened by women. They want to be in charge. They don't want to share that human right with women, because it's also a right of a woman that has been endowed with all this quality to be able to lead. Because men felt threatened, they want to safeguard it for themselves. Even when we were made to feel that it's hazardous, if there is insecurity, there is this and that is only men can do it. That was why they are now not allowing the women to do it. But we find out that it is not so. If we are looking at all these things we are talking about, you find out that when you look at the issue of leadership, the qualification and everything, you find out that we have to leave it, allow everybody to play. If you have the quality, I kept saying it, the ability, the capability, the capacity, all it takes to be a leader. Nobody should discriminate against you and say you shouldn't lead because you're a woman. He's telling us, our first brother said that you have to come and vote and vie for, that you should be voted and that they shouldn't package it with DHL and brought to you as a woman. I remember, and I want to ask, this election and voting and everything, they have party structures. And these party structures have their decisions and embargoes they have placed. I don't know how many party that has a woman as a national party chairman or leader. The thing they quickly and cleverly did was to, in the main leadership of the party, men must be in charge. They now cleverly created a room and for women, and they say woman leader. Woman leader is just there to mobilize women for them. They are not really part of the decision making of the party. That's the truth. So if you cannot even give a woman to lead the party, there is, what are you trying to say? And you say they can come and vie for election. Now and again, I take you back to communities. Thank God that Arin said he's coming from Anambra. And I'm also speaking right from Anambra as we are talking. Right in the heart of Anambra, I'm speaking. Have you looked at our community structure where decisions are made concerning the community? And we remember we talked about leadership. They mentioned intelligence, the mental intelligence, the psychology, the this and that and everything. But we found out that when decisions are being made concerning the community, the women are not part of the community leadership. They equally quickly again and cleverly created the one they call Asatu women. They have Asatu men and they have Asatu women. The Asatu women are the women leaders of the women groups in the community. They are not part of there where decision is being made concerning the community we are talking about. They just created them, let them be handling issues of women and not to be part of the decision making of the community. And the man who is in leadership position, they made the leader. You still find out this political undertone, even when somebody who is more qualified is vied, because they might have had some underground political interest and everything. They will still thwart and give it to somebody who doesn't even have the capacity or all it takes to lead the community. It's the same thing in the nation. It's not even the voting that counts. I'm sorry to say it, because if it's the voting of the people that truly counts, we wouldn't be saying all these things we are saying today. So, but let us look at it. We find out that when we are looking at way forward, though, I want to remind us that all the things that we are talking about here is that what is the way forward? Which way to go, Nigeria? Why I use this word is which way to go, IOM family. If our generation, yes, sorry. If this our own generation is critically looking into this, let us decide if all these things all these embargoes that have been placing on women, all these things that have been holding, domineering and whatever, is it helping us? If in your own family, today we are celebrating fathers, any genuine and sincere father who knows that the wife has been there, that is more intelligent, who has all that is needed to lead the family, is your own nuclear family. You adapt to whatever, you don't allow the society to decide for you. It's the families that make up the society. It's from the family that the society we are talking about emerges. So right inside your own home, what works for you? If you are a young man and your wife has all it takes to run your home, and two of you agree to come together as husband and wife to become a parent and a family, why will you begin to look at the society before you allow things to flow? Find out what works for you. Remember that somebody, sorry, let me quickly put it off, round it off with the question you asked about respect. That your wife is bringing money or whatever is not the breadwinner of the house that have all these policies, will not make her not to respect you. Even you as a man, that you are the one bringing everything, should not make you to disrespect your wife. If there is respect and love and understanding, nobody cares who is the leader or who is the head, because they are not going to heaven with that, or it's not adding who is the head or who is not the head. It would rather bring problem in the house than making the house a harmonious home for you to enjoy with your family. So let us begin to look at cost-benefit analysis of whatever decision we are making, whether in the nuclear family or in the society at large. Let us consider what will benefit us than holding on to what you call history or generational decision that is not taking us anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Apologies, guys. I laugh. I couldn't help but laugh. Laugh is, Madam Hope, thank you. And we still have Dr. Temitope to make his input. Madam Hope touched on insecurity. You know, there are certain things I threw out there on purpose. I did. So family members are picking and choosing the ones that suit them. A family member on speaker said choice. He doesn't know why I put our choice out there. He said the woman should choose to go out of an institution that banned and put a kind of embargo on leadership for women And I'm laughing because the choice meant something. Madam Hope picked on insecurity of the man. She also talked about, she touched on what one of our speakers said, that leadership is open for all. Then she, who is also into political offices, although she's not a politician herself, she said this leadership has a kind of political structures, and women have a special office created for a woman leader. And a woman, if you look at all the leadership of political parties, you hardly find a woman leader as the leader of the party. Rather, you see a branch of the party for women to go and lead themselves there, not the man. And also, she talked about our generation are currently looking into leadership. Yes, you're right. And I want to come to Dr. Temitope. Before I come to you, Dr. Temitope, I want to start from where Madam Hope ended, so to say. Madam Hope said that this generation is currently looking at leadership in all categories, and true. It started from years, decades ago, where historically, as Brother Peter said, that it was natural that men dominated everywhere because they are domineering. And it was also natural that if you are a kind of domineering over someone that is full-fledged, they start fighting for their rights. It's not that they will win you, but there is a kind of legal system. There is a kind of human rights, natural inalienable rights of a human being. There is also a just cause. A just cause that people will say, is it because you can, like I told you about my grandfather, because he's a warrior, he goes out and slaughter men, slaughter the head of men that are in his front, put in a tray, that is the history we were told, and come back. And they will be clapping for him. That is a warrior. But is that the right thing to do? Are we barbaric? Are we animalistic? Is it you're going on the road, you see a man and woman, you beat up the man, you take the wife? Is that how we measure leadership? No, that is not natural course. It's like animalistic kind of domineering. And that is why even if America, Russia, and certain countries have the power to come to any African country of their chosen to dominate and lead them, they are not allowed to do so, because by nature there are laws that are guiding. That's why human rights came up, to protect those that are less powerful than you, so you will not be hitting, conquering, and overtaking, dominating. Now, Dr. Temitope, I want to say that in Madam Ho's speech, she said this generation is now fighting. Yes, we are not now fighting. Other generations have been fighting. This generation are continuing. And I tell you, no matter what you do, it's a matter of time. Whether we like it or not, it will continue to go until they feel justified. However, I want to ask Dr. Temitope, you are a man. However, we have, like Arinze said, institutions have their laws and rules. If you don't like it, back off. Certain institutions have laws that no woman can lead. And this institution, Dr. Temitope, although it suits them, they are definitely lawmakers, and it's working for them. But if you bring it like in a country, you have customary law and other laws, but you have supremacy of the law in the Supreme Court. And if a customary law or religious law is against the human rights or Supreme Court law of the country, what happens is that one, we over superintend the other, and they will be made to look at that law and checkmate it, taking into account human rights. A lot of institutions, ordinarily all institutions had embargo on women. There are now a lot of them opening up, allowing women. Women were not made to go to school. Now they are allowed to go to school. Women were not made to go outside to look for work. Their home was in, their place was in the house. Now they are allowed to go outside to go and work. Women are not allowed to take positions. They are now taking leadership positions. However, the men are still fighting that in the family of five, that small unit, they want to maintain the power. Remember, that's the last unit to fight. That's the last unit to fight. And any decision to open up the leadership, according to the definition of leadership, if you open up the leadership in that little minute unit, that means leadership can be for all. Because if you say no, a woman cannot lead a little house of 3 or 5 people or 10. How do you think she can lead a bigger house of 1,000,000 people? Dr. Temitope, do you think that the struggle by the women to dismantle all the embargoes put on them on all areas of leadership, is it correct? Or do you think, no, still hold on to the household leadership for only men because they have the pennies, rather than the definition of the natural law given by Arenze? Do you think that you can unmute? You're muted. Do you think that it's okay for all the embargoes in all institutions, including marriage, to be dismantled to allow the capable person to lead? Dr. Temitope.
Thank you very much. In our mind family, please, if there's anything we must always remember, it is in our mind, always in my mind, and that my destiny is in my head. So I please request that we should always sing it, and the more we keep it to memory, the better the world will become. It's when you think about your neighbor, you always work for his or her good, and that you have no cause to be inactive or to be indolent. You always want to realize that you can make it and you will make it. So your destiny is in your hand. Thank you very much, Los Angel, Dr. Hope, Rinzi, and every other person here speaking. And I want to say again that in a public space, in a public arena, please, we must learn to, one, respect everybody's opinion. In doing that, everybody must be willing to also learn to appreciate superior arguments. Now, looking at the arguments, that is presented tonight, I think one of the best things we need to do is to begin to identify specifics within the context of stating out what are the indicators, what are the indices, what are the criteria we are using to make certain allusions or make certain assertion. For every one of us, it's on that basis, on that premise, that we may want to say that, yes, we have justification to project a superior argument. For instance, if you ask me, if we have decided that we're going to be, choosing the number of balls, so the number of balls you choose will determine who wins the game. So in like manner, can we begin to look at the indicators tonight and ask yourself, how justified is that argument on the basis of that indicator? Now let's look at the argument. 1, should the women maintain status quo? Should they maintain their domestic activities? And that's the second argument now, should we seek to dismantle, the old age or age-long, patriarchal or male dominance that has been entrenched over time. Now, let me be very specific now. At no point should anybody believe that the women are inferior. That's not correct. No woman is inferior. Again, the human right is same as the woman right. Yes, when we talk about the non-alienable rights of everybody, so everyone has rights to life. Everyone has a right to dignity, rights to speech, freedom of association, and the like. So the constitution of a country, for instance, in a democratic system, is supreme. The constitution is the ground norm. The constitution is the final authority. Like Los Angel rightly indicated or points out to us to learn, where she said, where there are specific statements, okay, like maybe within the culture, within religious, activities and the likes. Like if we take Nigeria, for example, Nigeria practices is a secular society and we practice democracy. So there is no religion that is supreme or superior or that can override the constitution. There is no culture or tradition of man that can override the constitution. Although, let me say this way, that the constitution has what we call so many lacunas, so many inherent errors, so many inconsistencies, so many misnomers. But in the instance where the constitution says this is it, and that stands. Let's take, for instance, Nigerian Constitution has 5 chapters, all right? Chapter 4 and chapter 2. The chapter 2 talks about the non-justiciable sections of the law, meaning these are parts of the law that we should consider as human welfareism. But the law now says that though the government must make provisions for those things, but only when the government has the financial capacity. So in that case, you cannot sue the government for not providing them for you. Things like hospital, accommodations, and the likes. But in chapter 4, where you have the justiciable sections of the law, anything that infringes on that sections or those sections of that law, you have the right to sue anybody, not minding who they are. Religion, traditions. If your tradition says you should maltreat a woman, and the law in that chapter 4, from section 33 to subsection to section 36 or section 44, is very clear and explicit. If anybody infringes on your human rights, somebody taking your life, you sue the person for murder or manslaughter. If the person is asking you, you can't move. No, you have right to look at what is happening in Kano State. And then the government of Kano today is asked to pay a 10 million compensation to the deposed emir because you cannot infringe on his fundamental rights. Yes, you have certain powers as a government. Now let's come back to those questions very simple. Number one, there is no existing precedence that says that women should be subjugated. Women are equal to man. Please, the concept of equality and equity needs to be well explicit and explained. We are not saying that the man and the woman is a man. No. We're only saying on the basis of rights, she is to be just like saying, do you have the right to kill a woman because she's a woman? You don't have that right. She's a living being, so you must respect her for that and treat her as such. And that the issue of asking her to remain, as a sub or a second-class citizen, she's never a second-class citizen, and she will never be. All right? But without parity. So, again, all those, like I love the way Los Angel asked the question, who instituted those things? Is man-made activity. When you talk about traditions, culture, all these things are man-made with the intention, like someone like Dr. Hope rightly said, You know, when a man feels insecure, he's now attempting to create an artificial security for himself. He then begins to make certain law that makes the woman look as if she's a second-class citizen. Now, I'm going to pause a little by saying that, please, the more you respect a woman, the better the society will be. The more you project a woman in a healthy way, the healthier the society will be. And as a man, please let's get it clear, like my old aged saying will say, when you make the head, you cannot make it the tail. This is only saying that, see, that we will have to respect ourselves. It's mutuality. Okay? If you respect a woman, you will get a respect as a man. And at no point should a woman also enslave the man. The man cannot also enslave the woman. Let me pause and allow the argument and the debate to continue. Thank you, man.
Fantastic. Dr. Temitope, I think you've closed the talk show. I'm looking at the time. You guys are amazing. I know a lot of people want to contribute, but we will have part 3 of Man versus Woman. Today, we focused on the household, although the question was asked about everywhere. However, the speakers were coming to the area where they think or is a fact that they still have dominance on, that is the family. Because whether we like it or not, whether Nigeria is doing it yet or not, if you come to leadership like they all accepted, in even religion, although some bodies are yet to adjust and readjust, even in certain religious bodies, nations, communities, and what have you, women are now in leadership position. Yes, in a minute and nothing to write home about, but yet they are. And certain families, like some of the speakers said, is when the man decided to relinquish it, then the woman can pick it up, meaning that whether we like it or not, there are certain households that women are leading now. We have not touched on other areas of man versus woman in terms of sex and a whole lot of other areas. Then we'll go into marriage as well. Not household. We are talking of household here, but we'll go into marriage as in marriage, what's happening in marriages and what have you. But we are talking about leadership, headship, leadership. Should there be an embargo on an area and a freedom in other areas? I said to the speakers that they did not know why I put choice. The reason why I put choice is not to say women have the choice to run away from any area. There are embargoes being placed on them. No, I don't think as a human, because we are all human first, as a fetus, before you start germinating and getting either the penis or vagina to differentiate you from being a male or being a female. However, as a human, we all want the freedom and to be allowed to make our choices. Yes, a speaker said that if you do a survey, he just like our governor to be, Chris Bond, directed me to do a survey that I will find out that a high percentage of women want to marry for a man to look after her. Our current speaker, Rinze, an intelligent speaker, also asked me to do a survey. We see that there is a collective agreement that 85%, I don't know where he got the figure, but I agree with him saying that a collective agreement that a number of women, but he said 85. I don't think there's any statistics that would tell us that figure. Preferred for men to lead them in marriages. I will say this: why not? Why not? Why not? When you give birth, you start training the child. A man is the head. A man is the head. If you don't obey, you will be dealt with. You start training from birth. When you give birth to a man, you see penis, oh, head. You see vagina, oh, not head. So when they are training them, be a man. Be a man means take control, take charge, be strong. You are the man. Then you say, don't you know you're a woman? Means you come on. Don't you know your place? You should take your place, reduce your place. So from childhood, when you say to me, take survey of women, you will see collective agreement. I don't argue with that. It's obviously correct. But let us look at the circumstance. Yes, women could say men are the leaders. That is what we are taught, that they are the leaders. But when you come in to look at it, like you said, take the survey, I will tell you that I can also take a survey to find out why that is it. And I will tell you it's because they were being cajoled, they were being trained, it was being inculcated in their head with threat of what they are going to do to them if they disobey. However, I want you to know why I put the term choice, because wise women from the tutoring and nurturing and training and the teachings is that you are not the head, the man is your head. Why a lot of women, especially in countries where the rights of the woman is not there, like Nigeria, and also especially in cases where women are threatened, punished by their fellow women as well if they disobey, and because women uphold the laws, they uphold, like they scrape your hair. It's not a man scraping the hair. I always say it is a woman. So why women, like you said, Arinze, agree, because it's been taught and preached and threatened to them that they must accept it. We should also know that, and there is also the power of choice. There are also women that have chosen not to do that, and they have met the qualification like you guys stipulated for leadership. They met it, and they are wondering if you defined leadership as intellectual ability of the person. And I would like, family, before I go, you quickly check the term leadership as well. Is the intellectual, if you're looking at it in terms of intellectual, physical, financially to a large extent, and what have you, leading from the front. Whilst some women are doing this more, or in some cases solely them, why are they still told it's not all about that criteria? There is another thing. I will tell you the secret. The other thing is the penis. Yes, whether you like it or not. Even if you meet it, they will look, what do you have? You don't have penis. So you can't be the leader, even if you meet it. You say, why not? Because you're not a man. That's what you will hear. I'm not giving you I'm telling you what is obtainable. I've done a lot of reading, a lot of research, and this is what we are seeing. And if you even go by the definition of head of a family, you will see that the head of a family is any man, the head of a family. Family, I would like you to quickly look at the definition of the head of a family for me. You will see that it's any person. It says any person responsible for leadership and decision making. Any person. Look at the definition of the head of a family. The head of a family, by definition and by law, says any person responsible for leadership and responsibility. So, in most cases, ordinarily, and some people say generally, naturally. No, it's not naturally, it's historically, it has been the man. But the definition says any person. But we don't do that. We don't look at any person. We look at, what does he have? Okay, he has a penis. Okay, he's the leader. But if we are to go by the definition, please, family, can you quickly, as we are going, I want us to close now. We'll have a part 3. I see some people are putting it in. Thank you. Abraham said, a head of a family is someone responsible for decision making and leadership. Correct. That is the definition for a head of a family anywhere you go. Let me see, family members, keep bringing it up. A head of a family is a person responsible for leadership and definition and decision making. Thank you. That is the definition of a head of a family. And Ziti said, head of a family controls the family. I want to see the definition of the control. Who is a head of a family? Okay, controls. I think only Zitis is defining it. Can you? I want to read the last definition quickly. Family. Who is the head? Not who. Not who. Can you quickly? Can you mute Peter? Unless you want to speak, you can speak over me. That's fine. Can you quickly define? Peter, do you want to speak or you want to mute? Peter, mute, please. Thank you. Okay. Fresh or say, head of family is anyone who is matured enough to lead by example in all aspects of life. Fantastic. Juliet said, head of a family is responsible and this is a responsible and a decision maker. Fantastic. I'm still reading because we'll dance and close. A head is someone.
I would like to speak. Excuse me, no.
Fantastic. I will allow you to speak in 1 minute, then we close. You can mute because of the noise. So, yes, in the definition, both legal definition of head of a family say someone, anyone, a head of a family who is responsible to provide and is the decision maker. And now, if you look down, they will tell you ordinarily is a man because the historic has been passed down. They say in many cases is a man. But I want to tell you also, family, I want to tell you that whilst that is correct, there are many other countries and areas where you see different types of families. We have monogamous family, polygamous family, polyandrous family, where the woman is even the head. We have a whole lot of matrilocal family, patrilocal family. This is showing you that there are some families where the man or the woman is the head, where the man or the woman is the head. But ordinarily, naturally, as they will say, historically, as they will say, the man has always been in that position because they say, if you start look, I don't want us to quote Bible because if anybody quotes the Bible here, we will bring up the Bible to show that we should be slaves as well, and a whole lot of other things that they use in defending the institution they want to maintain. So I want to say, the head of a family, even in definition, says it's any person. Any person. However, when you look around, generally, because as we look and say men are leaders majorly, does not mean women are not. But when you look, they'll say it's mostly men, but in certain areas is women, and so on. So, Arinze, if you want to speak, please speak quickly. Then we'll dance and come back for the part 3. I'm looking at the time. It's time to close. Arinze, unmute and speak. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so very much. You know, we are modeling things out here, and I want to clarify something. Leadership does not mean slavery. Leadership doesn't mean slavery.
Sorry, leadership doesn't mean
slavery.
Oh, I don't know what you mean by slavery. Nobody defines
leadership. No. We've been talking about trampling on the rights of the woman and all of these things. And I tend to disagree with that. When we are talking about leadership, as long as it is not dictatorship, we are talking about leadership. Who directs affairs, who leads.
Yes, who does that? Who does that?
Exactly. Hold on.
No, I'm asking you. Who does that?
Of course, I will keep on explaining it time and time and time again. Every institution has its peculiar standards, requirements to assume leadership. It does not mean that every other person in that institution are, how do I put it, placed or dominated or trampled
What does
upon.
that mean? What does that mean? If it doesn't mean that, you tell me, what does that mean?
Like you rightly said, you said we are running a democracy in Nigeria. Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. It doesn't stop you and I from criticizing the president.
No. Arinze, please, let's go quickly. No, Arinze,
yes.
please, because of time.
Hold on.
Arinze,
okay,
please, I want you to listen.
I'm only answering your question.
No,
I'm only
Arinze,
answering your question.
please, Arinze, please, I'm insisting. You said leadership does not mean the other person is being subjugated. Then I'm asking you, Arinze, what does that mean?
Leadership is simple. Leadership is directing affairs.
Correct.
Who directs the affairs? That's exactly. So you have to hold on because you spoke and you listen. So you have to let me talk.
You need to speak quickly because we'll continue with you next week.
Thank you. So what I am trying to say, a lot of women in marriages thrive. In fact, a larger number of women in marriages today thrived because of the men that they got married to. They thrived and they ascended into powers that they wouldn't have ordinarily been in if they weren't married today.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean that the man subjugated them. It means that the man is the one who is supposed to direct the affairs of the family.
What do you mean by supposed? What do you mean by supposed?
I am telling you, I have made my point clear when I said it.
So I want to say this to you. I want to say this.
Hold on. Can I finish? Can I
quickly, please? Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't mind.
Thank you. Yeah. So what I am saying is that the man has to. It is the man's responsibility when it comes to particularly the marriage institution. It is the man that is given the authority to lead. Now I have to give you an instance. If you have been in court where divorces are being had, where women file divorce, you find out that a larger number of these women filed the divorce on the premise that the man refused to lead. If you go and check various courts and you check the ground that these divorces were filed upon, they were filed upon the fact that the man refused to lead.
Hello,
Yes.
And so they walked out.
Yes, Dr. Temitope.
Thank you, Mr. Arinze.
Yes.
You are speaking on the perspective of the Nigerian factor.
Thank you.
Now, let me provide a balanced argument.
Excuse me. Mute, Dr. Arinze. Thank you.
You see, time actually is a constraining factor here.
Yes.
But I'll be very glad to welcome you.
Let's be quick because we'll continue with the end next week. Thank you. Continue, Dr. Temitope.
Yes, I was saying that I'll be glad to welcome him next Sunday. We'll be glad to start with him.
Thank you. So, Arinze, I hear you. I know you want to talk. You hold on until next week. Arinze, I hear you. All your argument is based on the fact that women sue men because they are not leading and all this thing because they've not taken leadership. And you're just justifying, really creating the fact that women have been made to be subjected to believe that they are underneath the man, whether you like it or not. You said leadership does not mean, the head does not mean the other person is a slave. Nobody said that. But all we are asking is, why do you say you insist institutions have their own, and we have said it a billion times. Whilst institutions have laws governing it, you can't say that this institution said before you come, you must kill your child or you must do this, and if you don't want, go. That institution can be sued because it is against the human right for all they are doing. It's not correct that institutions have laws, have been challenged, and I've said it a billion times. Even these offices you're saying, there were times women were never allowed to. You say, oh, leadership institutions have this, offices have that. There were when women were segregated to the house. It is fight, 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 and fight that they are coming into these offices you're using as an example because the country have made a law to allow the women to be in the office. Otherwise, it will still be the same thing like the household, where it's more traditional and parents transferring laws from generation to generation. We are not here to argue. You've not heard my point. You are making, oh, marriage institutions should be left. I'm laughing because the fight is coming little by little. We can all but fear. But will it come? Yes, of course. Is it coming? Absolutely. Are we scared? Absolutely. A whole lot of things. If you say this institution have this law, respect it. No, it's been broken. There were a time where countries have institutions empowering them to be slave owners. Slave owners. And it's in their country's laws. But it's been broken down because the black people, the slaves, Indians, Asians, cried, fought, and it's been abolished. If you talk about institutions having their right to make laws, to remove the entrenchment of rights on one person and give it to the other and say, leave it. Trust me, there is fight. It's coming and it's coming. I've not told you where I stand, but I want you to know that we've said it. Everyone has said it. It is correct. Households are currently being led by men. I'm not saying it's not correct. Is it right? I'm not saying anything. I'm asking you. And the definition you gave to me means is wrong. Because if you have a definition for leadership and headship of the family, we have put it to you that a lot of women meet it. What happened? I still insist he's a man. Therefore, there is a very, very hidden agenda, which is, if we do the survey you asked me to do, the penis and the vagina. That is what matters. Whether we like it or not, we have to look into it. If you are born with penis, you are the head of the family. If you're born with the vagina, you cannot head the family. But we will come again and have more arguments on it. You will talk. We will listen to you. But right now, please, can we close and allow us to come back next week? Go and reimburse yourself, research more, and come. We are waiting to hear your wonderful arguments. And I want to say on that note, I was saying something about choice before we dance. The power of choice should be given, because when he's talking, he's putting women, and it's saddening because he's correct. He's correct. Whether I like it or not, if you ask women here, who is can a woman be a head of the country? They'll say, yes, because it's obvious. Women have headed countries because they fought, and they were allowed. If you ask the same women, can the woman be a leader? They'll say, yes, because it's obvious. Women are leaders. If you ask the same women, can women be head of family? They will say no. That is the point he's using. He's using the women. He said women don't want to lead. Women don't want to lead. Forget it. There are many things that surround the reason why the poor woman does not want to lead, because she'll be named and shamed. She will be told that her husband is an infidel. She will be told that her husband is useless. He has failed. She will be told, she'll be laughed at. The society will shame her. There are many reasons why women fall under the category you're telling me, to the extent that they will go and say, my husband is not performing because that's what is handed over to the woman, and you're using it against the same woman because she's keeping to your laws. You're not coming like the slave masters did with the Bible, quoting. If the Bible said that slaves is allowed, we should own slaves. That was what the slave masters were using to keep us as slaves until the rule of law, human rights said no. You are infringing on their rights. You're coming with me with women. The women want to be led. The women want to be led. Yes, you're right. But let's look at it. Why? We'll leave it. But the power of choice is there are some women that don't want to be led, that feel they are they are meeting all the requirements you defined for us as the leadership role for the family, and you still say no. Why not? We'll leave it for another Sunday. On that note, please let me see what the family members are saying. Dr. Temitope and Co., please come to the backstage. Let us dance and close if you can. Let me read what the family members are saying, then we'll close. Oluwakemi said, interesting. I don't know. Ziti said, exactly. Queen said, yes. I don't know what she said, yes. Abraham says, some women don't want to be led. Absolutely, yes. But you are, embargo is placed on you. You must want it. Adenike say, more wisdom. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Precious say, women don't mind being led if the man is leading correctly without tampering on her rights. That is exactly what Arinze is saying. Oluwakemi say, we learn every day in our mind talk show. Thank you very much, Oluwakemi. Fumi said, well done, Mama. I don't know what she said. Well done. Ezine say, fantastic show tonight. Thank you, Ezine. And Ngo, my sweetheart, I saw you and your lovely husband. She said, in our mind page is an eye opener. I don't know what we opened your eyes on. Chijoke said, 10K comment loading. I don't know about that. Julia said, well done, Nurse Angel. And the last and the least, before we close, I'm waiting for Dr. Temitope. He is not coming to the backstage. Dr. Temitope, come and show me what a man can do. Chinazam said, they will say women that Chinazam is raw and she's correct. She said, they will say women that squat to urinate can't tell us what to do. Okota. So the man, some cases, when you listen to arguments of leadership, they will tell you that because a woman squats to urinate and the man stands to urinate, urination is not a measure yardstick for leadership. This is another topic of discussion. So what Chinazam is saying, which I have heard myself, is that sometimes the measuring stick for leadership or head is the position you stand when you are urinating. This is so sweet. I want to repeat, and I'm saying this because I've had it. Arguments on leadership criteria, who should lead and who should not lead, is based on the position you stay while you are urinating. So if you stand up and urinate, you are a leader. If you squat down to urinate, you are not a leader. That is why certain women now are standing up to urinate. They will just open their leg and urinate without squatting down to show that they too can stand in a position for urinating. Juliet is laughing. Nancy is giving us up. Gloria is laughing. And respect your woman. According to they forget some men squats to urinate. Yes. Ezine is talking about some men based on religion is required to squat to urinate. Please, you guys should leave me alone. Don't talk about position of urination. We now have to dance and close. And if you don't
Africa is now or never. You ever win it or lose it forever. Africa is now or never. We rather win it and keep it for good. Nigeria is now or never. You ever love it or lose it forever. Nigeria is now or never. We rather love it and keep it for good. Freedom is now or never. We either win it or lose it forever. Freedom is now or never. We rather win it and keep it for good. Let me hear it. Security. Jai Kama. Security. Kanjabana. Jai Kama. Security. Jamabana. Jai Kama. Africa is now under. You rather win it or lose it forever. Africa is now under. We rather win it and keep it for good. Nigeria is now under. You either love it or leave it forever. Nigeria is now under. We rather love it and keep it for good. Freedom is now or never. We either win it or lose it forever. Freedom is now or never. We rather win it and keep it for good. Kanje Zigabos, Agamawana Najai Kamba. Kanje Zigabos, Kanje Wana Najai Kamba. Zigabos, Najai Kamba. Zigabos, Najai Kamba.
Yes. It was sweet, hot, lovely, and I said a lot, but I have not given my opinion yet. None of you know where I stand. Trust me, you never know. I know with my questions, you'll be like, oh, Nasenja is saying this. Nasenja is asking and putting the facts. I have not said what I think as a woman or as a human being. I like to see myself first as human before my gender, my culture, my religion, my this and that. I am human first before anything I belong to. Yes. So I will say tonight has been a great night. And I will just say each and every one of the family members to please the speakers. Dr. Temitope is here. Madam Hope is here. Can you guys quickly say bye-bye to the family members? We are going to definitely see next week. So can we hear your closing remark? Madam Hope, just quick one, please. I don't want to be here longer. Madam Hope. Dr. Temitope.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm here.
correct.
Um, I look forward for the next Sunday. What I could take away from all that Arinze is agitating is that the women don't have rights to lead. That authority has been given to men to lead. So the women don't have the right to lead. That is all I could hear from him. So let us wait until next Sunday. Bye.
Fantastic. Thank you, Madam Hope. Dr. Temitope.
In our mind, always in my mind. In our mind, always in my mind. And that my destiny, not yours. Your destiny is in your own hand, and my destiny is in my hand. Glad to know that Nurse Angel is super duper intelligent. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I will just read a couple of family members write up and we go. So Zit is, oh yes, they are saw my pin. Now we are not angels, see all this music. Yes, it's about time we speak to Nigerians. So Ezine said, please make provision for us to call next week. Yes. Ezine, next week we'll hear from you. Obianyo in our mind admin said women can take the head of the family, case closed. Obianyo, I don't know if that's a statement or if that's your point of argument. Abraham said women are equal to men, coming from Dr. Temitope. And then Chidi said, in the struggle of superiority, and my verdict is that both the male and female gender should complement themselves. I repeat, in the struggle of superiority, my verdict is that both the male and female gender should complement themselves rather to be in a competition. I'm holding myself back from making a pronouncement. God, who created both genders, had a motive. I rest my case. Chidi, I want to know you more. I want to know you more. I want to know you more, Chidi. Ike man said, women no gree. And Lucia said, this year, we women no grief for anybody. And Nangok said, woman leader to share salt and Maggie for election. I think when Madam Mook was talking, Sylvia said, we inherited those laws from generations before. Now we know the truth. They try to still suppress women. And Shinazan said, women fought for everything they gained. I want to say, in our mind, is always, always in my mind. And my destiny is in my hands. Your destiny is in your hands. I love you, fam. We have to go. Bye bye. Love you. Bye.